What is up, my friends? So, this is the first YouTube live stream of Talkin Sports with Mark Live. So, we have a few things to talk about, but I just really want to give this a go because I've never used YouTube Live. I have other channels, but this is my first time doing a YouTube live stream. So, let's get into this one. The Panthers are taking on the Lightning right now. The Panthers are up 2-0 and currently in period one they are winning 1-0. but really quick, I want to rewind to my Kings versus the Oilers. So it was a great game, wild game. So I tried posting that clip of the one-handed goal, which was just wild wild stuff. Okay, so So there was that somewhat controversial score by Kane, Evander Kane, which he does do the kicking motion, but then he does push it in with the stick, which means that it is a good goal. Okay, so that makes them tied, right? 4-4, 4-4. The so this is the third period. Why? I'm gonna watch my language because I do streams on other platforms and I curse up a storm, but this is YouTube, so you have to keep it clean. So I will try to keep it clean, but my God, why would you challenge that? Why the hell would you challenge that? Why the hell would you challenge that? You are tied. Okay, cool. Third period, you don't want to risk anything, right? Plus, the play wasn't even bang bang. The play wasn't even bang bang. Okay, the the scoring play wasn't even bang bang. Okay, why would you challenge that to even give it a opportunity to that dangerous Edmonton Oilers power play? Now you might say, well, Mark, this isn't the same power play from last season. That's absolutely correct. But Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, why the hell would you give them a shot? So lo and behold, they challenge, fail, fast fast review, which tells me that there's absolutely nothing there, meaning that it was too blurry, which the Kings were trying to challenge goaltender interference, which I didn't see then. So, so that's why it really doesn't make any sense because they even took time to look at the play. Okay, they even took time to look at the play, and they still challenged it. They still, okay, I want to say it. They still challenge the motherfucker. There, I said it. It's 100% correct. Why the fuck would you do that? Okay, so lo and behold, they go on the power play. They score right off the bat. Then with that, uh, mixed with it being third period, yeah, man, you're behind the eight ball. So they make a nice little push, but then they have to pull the goaltender. Then they score, and then yeah. So the final score turns out to be 4-7 with the Oilers winning. Game 4 will take place tomorrow, which I cannot wait for that. So so that so we also have the UFC going on tonight, which is a, a very nice card. Okay, it's a very nice card. Starting off with the main event, we have Ian Machado, Gary versus Carlos Pradas. That's an excellent fight, so I can't wait for that one. Now, light heavyweight, you guys love to trash this guy. Okay, you guys love to trash this guy, but he has done it to himself, and that is Anthony Lionheart Smith taking on Zhang Min Yang. Okay, my friends, but next up we have Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. So, do you remember when when Giga was just horrified? Horrified. Do you remember that? When Giga Ninja was just horrified, like, oh man, that devastating liver kick. That devastating liver kick, man. Then then in comes Calvin Cater. Then he just kicks his ass, and now he's 15-4. So I'm looking forward to that fight. Then we're moving on to the king of fighting trash cans, with which uh, Paul Fowler called him out, saying that Mika or Michel Pereira needs to step up. Buddy needs to step up. He is in the prime of his fighting career, and he needs to step up. Okay, so he will be taking on Magomedov Abbas Magomedov, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. We also have Randy Brown fighting canceled. Oh man, that would have been a good one. Yeah, canceled. So Jamal Hill was supposed to take on Khalil Roundtree. That would have been nice. So that would have been nice. So what is this stuff? See, I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay, I must say that YouTube live chat is, or no, live is much simpler because there's no title, there's no nothing, so I could just go on and on. So I really dig that. Nice, I love it. So I love doing live streams, man. Live stream, you really feel like you are really doing a show, which I absolutely love. And talking sports is a nice change from my other channels. So it's a nice time to really sit back and just shoot the bullshit, right? Okay, so my friends, what teams do you like? Who do you have winning the Stanley Cup? So I'm a Kings fan, so I have my Kings going all the way. So I have my Kings going all the way. But then one of my bandwagon teams is the Philadelphia Flyers, and one thing that I will keep saying is they got screwed by the coronavirus. They got screwed, man. Okay, they got screwed. I remember that season. So you Philadelphia fans, let me know. Do you remember that season? They were just kicking ass left and right. They were looking fantastic. But then the virus happens and they had to shut things down. Then they did the whole bubble thing, and yeah, Philadelphia went nowhere. Then after that, just fell apart. Met then with Carter Hart. Carter Hart, what is that guy up to? Carter Hart, let's see. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a long one. So, judge declares mistrial in Hockey Canada sexual and assault case. Yeah, this is gonna be a long one. Man, I like that guy a lot, Carter Hart. So he is now 26 years old. 26 years old, and he's still young. Then the whole thing, we shall see what happens there. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Now you fast forward. Now Drew is with the Senators, which when I was watching them taking on the Maple Leafs, I was like, oh, that's where my guy Drew went. So that's where he went. But Drew will always be a Philadelphia Flyer. Now, real quick, let's get into the Shedeur Sanders thing. So Shedeur Sanders has gone undrafted. We are now past the top 3 rounds, and he has still gone undrafted with the likes of Jalen Miro being picked before him, which I like Jalen Miro. Jalen Miro, I like him a lot. Him to the Seahawks, that is nice, but why not Shedeur Sanders? So, so one thing that I keep saying is that in the great uh, um, So, in the words of the great Deion Sanders, if you ball, you gonna get the call. If you ball, you gonna get the call. So that means that clearly these teams do not see Shador Sanders as a top QB prospect. Prospect. Okay, let's get into QB drafted in 2025 because okay, let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna go with this one, Yahoo, because they're pretty simple. Okay, let's see. So yeah, Cam Ward, Cam Ward win, Jackson Dart win, and Jalen Miro win. Okay, so Jalen Miro and Dylan Gabriel have gone ahead of Shador Sanders. Now I'm starting to think that they are indeed trying to make an example out of him. So I have no idea what Shador Sanders said or did, but we all know the the talk was at, and he seemed very arrogant, very very bashful. But in sports, when you are good at what you do, they don't give a shit, man. Okay, they're gonna sign you, they're gonna draft you. So that tells me that they really do not think that he's gonna do much at the pro level, which is just wild. So I like what I see now. He's not a Cam Ward. Jackson Dart really is much more of a gunslinger. But Shador Sanders to the Seahawks, that would have been nice. Shador Sanders to my Raiders, but we got Gene T, so I like that a lot. But it also gives me Josh Jacobs vibes. So I mean, so really we all know how that ended. So Gene T, they are building for the future though, and plus let's say my Raiders would have drafted Shador Sanders in, and then if he would have turned out to be a bust, then you get screwed. Whereas with Gene T does give me for sure legitimate top tier pro running back vibes. So I'm not even mad at that. Jalen Miro to the Raiders, that would have been nice. But yeah. So I do think that my Raiders are waiting to build that quarterback position later on because this season, let's be honest, they're not going to do anything this season. So I love my guy Pete Carroll, but I have no faith in oh, what's that guy's name? The quarterback that went from the Jets and then to the Seahawks. I can believe I forgot his name. Is he Raiders quarterback? Oh God, Geno Smith, of course. Yeah, Geno. Raider fans, we have some winners at quarterback: Geno Smith, Aiden O'Connell, and Carter Bradley. Well, fuck me. Wow. Oh, well, let's see what this says. Raiders insider had brutally honest admission on Shador Sanders. Let's see what he says. Yeah, that's crazy. Cam Ward, not crazy. Jackson Dart, Tyler Shaw, and Jalen Miro going before Shador Sanders. Wow. Let's see, what is he? Okay, Vic Tafur. So, quote, given Shador's strong ties to Tom Brady, Raiders passing on him at 37, 48, and 58 only validates other teams. Set it back at the combine, his interviews, including board work, went very badly, end quotes. So the interviews went badly, but we've seen this plenty of times, man. Plenty of times. We even saw this with Caleb Williams. Now, see, there you have it. See, there you have it. The difference is that Caleb Williams, Buddy was so good that you couldn't pass on him. Okay. Same with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was so damn good that you couldn't pass on him. Like they all had question marks, but they threw those question marks to the side because them boys can't play. Now Shador Sanders, the fact of the matter is these teams do not think that he's good enough. Okay. One, two, three. And really that says a lot. Because bare minimum the third round. Okay, let's grab him. Third round we grab him, let's see what happens. So, okay, he turns out to be something great, like he turns into like a Russell Wilson, great. Turns into nothing really. So it was a third round pick. It's not that big of an issue, right? So there you have it, my friends. Just a tiny bit of sports news for dad ass. So with that being said, my friends, it is always a absolute pleasure. Thank you for tuning in to the first ever YouTube live stream of Talkin Sports with Mark Live. Y'all have a lovely, lovely weekend.